The Busy Bees update for Girl Garden has just been released. And I know I said the cosmetics update was my favorite update, but this one is really my favorite. There's a lot that's been added in, and a lot of it is super cute and springy. So first I'm gonna try to show you the new stuff that's been added in, and then we're gonna get into some tips on how to maximize the amount of honey you get. Because trust me, you're gonna be wanting to make a lot of it this update. First of all, a huge PSA. Everything you see in here is recorded on the testing server. So things are very likely to change, especially aspects of the update like the cooldown times and the item prices tend to change a lot. I'll be doing some follow-up content to try and patch in those holes and show you the new stuff in full, but I hope this helps prepare you and gives you a good idea of what's being added regardless. If this video does help you out, please leave a like and consider subscribing. I put a lot of effort into my videos, like hours of work, to try and make them as entertaining and informative as I can. So doing these actions help me out a lot and would show that you appreciate my work. Thank you if you do, totally understand if you don't. All right, first let's look into how this event works and then we will get into the tips. I'll have timestamps in the description below too if you do want to skip the new stuff and just go straight to the tips. But hearing about the new stuff will help you narrow down some ideas too. You might have actually been seeing on my screen all the pop-ups. It's a little bit chaotic in the testing server right now. We have some shortened cooldown times so that we can test more accurately. Trust me when I say it was a lot worse just last night. It was really chaotic. Now, before we get really into it, something that might help you is knowing that a lot of the aspects of this update are actually quite similar to the Lunar Glow event that has just ended. So keep that in mind as I show you the new changes. Everything you need to interact with is right here at the center of the map. The Bee Swarm event triggers once every hour on the hour, and a bunch of bees fly out of this beehive to everyone's gardens. It actually looks like you're able to trigger the Bee Swarm event at any time, but it does cost Robux if you want to be able to do that. When the Bee Swarm event happens, there's an increased chance for pollinated fruits. The bees fly to your garden and randomly pick a fruit to mutate, which gives you a pop-up saying it was mutated and a bright yellow glow over the fruit for a few seconds to pick it out easier. They do this a few times during the swarm event before it cools down for an hour. I've definitely got a couple pollinated things in my garden right now. Once you've got some mutated fruits, you're gonna take them over here to this honey compressor. Yeah, ha ha ha, bee pun. This guy right here will take the fruit that you're holding, which has to have the pollinated mutation, and starts to fill up the jar. This jar right here. So I'm not really sure what the criteria is, like what fruits do better than others, but it seems like maybe rarer plants might fill up the jar better than common plants. Maybe size plays a role. I'll definitely try to update once I have it more narrowed down. But if you have figured it out and have any extra information, let me know in the comment section below. Oh, I need to collect my honey first. So this is what happens when the jar is actually full. You have to wait 10 minutes and you can come back and collect your honey, and this will gives you 10 honey. You can see your honey right here above the shekels. Oh, someone has called in a bee swarm. Oh, look at it go. Whoa, I love the little animation. Oh, here they come. Oh, coming back in the hive. All right, so let's give this guy a pollinated moonflower. We have a small one here. I wonder how much this is gonna fill it up. Okay, so that filled it up about 2 kilograms, and you need to fill it up to 10 before you can start processing your honey. Okay, take this giant one. Oh, goodness. So now I have to wait the 10 minutes before I can collect honey again. While that's processing, I'm gonna spend the honey I just made, and you do that by going over here to the queen bee. Hive fruit? What the? There's a new plant back there. So the queen bee is where you access the new event shop. You come up here and you talk to her. Hello, queen bee. I would like to trade some honey. You can ask her what she is. You can say you want to trade honey. You can ask where to get honey, or you can stop talking to her. I want to trade honey is how you access the shop. So here's where you're going to start seeing some test server differences. The stock for us on here changes about every 30 seconds to a minute, which is not going to be the case in the public servers. But it looks like they're testing out some of the prices, so these might be quite accurate to what they are when this update is released. We have the brand new flower seed packs that you can access, and it looks like if you press this question mark, you can see everything you can draw and their rarities. So we have the brand new rose, foxglove, lilac, pink lily, purple dahlia, and the sunflower, which is the hardest one to get. There's also the new nectarine seed, where you get the nectarine tree from. There's also the hive fruit seed, which I think this is the tree that was teased ahead of time with the little beehives all over it. Very cool. We have the honey sprinkler, and we have a bee egg. Now this is what I'm really excited for. But this is what you're gonna get all of the new bee pets out of, which are really, really going to help you out. A lot of my tips are gonna revolve around this bee egg. So keep an eye on that. And if you see it in stock, grab it. There's also the new bee crate, so you can get some bee cosmetics, but it also looks like you're able to get some cosmetics just from the shop. So those are the general mechanics of this event. It's really quite simple and doesn't deviate too far from the Lunar Glow event's mechanics, so hopefully it shouldn't be too complicated for you to figure out. So let's look at a couple of the new flowers, and let's definitely look at the pets, because this is what you'll want to see. Oh, hey, I do have a crate to open. Took me about 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. It took about 10 minutes before it was ready to open, so thankfully not too long. It looks like there's 6 different things you can get though. That almost looks like a couple little bees in a jar. Let's see what I get out of this crate, just out of curiosity.
Huh?
Oh, what is that? Whoa, what is it? It's like a lamppost, but also kind of like a tree. I also do have 2 flower seed packs to open. Let's go ahead and see what we can get out of these. Okay, first one. I got a lilac! And another lilac! I might need to go buy some more of these. What? Okay, let's see if we get 2 lilacs again. First one. Oh, this time I got a rose! Okay, yay! I don't even know if I've seen the sunflower pop up just yet, but has it passed by at all? Are lilacs the easiest to get? What is this? Oh, the lilac seed is so pretty. And the rose. I really like that red as well. Here, whoa, is the rose bush. It is definitely thorny. Okay, grow, 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 grow. Oh, wait, whoa, look at the lilacs. So can I pick any of these? I think a lot of this update for me is gonna be more about looks than actually sell prices. And the lilacs are so cute. What is that? What is that on the ground? What is that? What is growing right now? So let's look at some of the new bee pets. I managed to already hatch a few, but we're gonna put down some eggs really quick too and see what we get. And some of the flowers have grown. Oh my God, look at the roses. Why are they growing sideways? This might be something that is still being worked on, but look at them, wow. Okay, I've got my 2 bee eggs. Let's go ahead and put them both right here. So just for context, they were only taking 15 seconds earlier on. So we're gonna actually not open these up, and I'm gonna show you what I've already opened. You might have already seen them kind of flying around, but there's one you maybe haven't seen just yet. Okay, so let's just pretend we hatched those eggs. What pets can you get out of the new egg? Well, I hatched a few different ones. First, we have the bee. It is so cute. This is just your standard bee. I'm gonna assume this is one of the most common ones you can get. I haven't seen the rarities, but it's just a standard little bee. I love that its wings are flapping all over the place. So this is the rare bee, and its trait is that every about 20 minutes or so, it flies to a nearby fruit and it pollinates it, applying the pollinated mutation. It still does take about 20 minutes, but it's assured that every 20 minutes or so, it will pollinate a random fruit. So if you're able to get even just one of these new eggs, you'll have another way to get pollinated fruits. Unless you pull this pet. One of the other more common pets I've picked up is the bear bee. And look at this guy, it is so cute. My favorite part is its little wiggly tail back here. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. I think one of my favorite pet models in the whole game. So let's view its traits.
Huh?
So its little picture says real D, real B. So it's a real bee. We're gonna go with that. Bee bear, bear bee, you know? And its ability is that every 20 minutes it goes to a nearby fruit and tries to pollinate it. But it's not a bee, so it fails and turns it to honey glazed instead. So this guy has an exclusive mutation called the honey glazed mutation. So you can't turn any of the fruits that it mutates in for honey points. But I assume it has a pretty good multiplier, so we'll have to find out. See, this one's honey glazed, let's test it out. Versus this one that is just pollinated and wet. First we'll check this slightly larger pollinated wet moonflower. This one is worth 594,000. Pretty good for a moonflower. And now we will check this one that's actually a little bit smaller, but also has the honey glaze mutation. And see, even a little bit smaller, it is worth more. So if you like to collect mutations around your garden or you want to make some more money, the bee bear is going to be a good option for that. It kind of reminds me of the chicken zombie in that it has a kind of exclusive mutation that only this guy can give you, as far as I'm aware. Okay, one of the admins just joined in. Huge shout out to Climax, who has helped me a few times before for videos. And I can ask him actually for some of the new pets. So let's check it out. Wow! So I'm gonna show this off in 1 second because there's another slightly less rare pet that I was able to get that I want to show you first. Okay, you probably saw it flying around here in the background. In fact, oh, it just disappeared. Okay, here he is. Here he is. Hi, little bee. This is the golden bee. This one was one of the ones that was teased. This is a mythical rarity, so I'm assuming it's going to be pretty high up there as far as rarity goes. About every 20 minutes, it flies to a nearby fruit and pollinates it, applying the pollinated mutation. Okay, so similar to the just standard bee in that it'll help pollinate your plants. However, it also has an 8% chance that harvested fruit, sounds like all harvested fruit, becomes gold on harvest. Rarer crops have less chance to churn gold. And to know that this applies to everything is crazy. This is almost kind of like the dragonfly, which has a chance to turn things gold. I don't remember how often, but pretty often. This again does turn them gold on harvest, so first you have to pick it and then it'll maybe turn gold. Did Climax just give 11,000 honey? How much honey do I have now? I need to see this. I have 11,000 honey. Oh my god. So I do want to just point out that there will probably be something else added into this little display right here. And that is a Robux version of the new seeds and the new eggs. They've done that already for the Lunar Glow event. And that will be another way that you can see all the different rarities, all the different options for the seed packs and the eggs. But I'm going to show you what I think is the rarest pet in the egg. And you did already get a view at it because Climax already gave it to me. And that is the queen bee. Oh, look how big it is. The queen bee is divine rarity. And every about 20 minutes or so, 19 minutes, a nearby fruit gets magically pollinated, applying pollinated mutation. Every 20 minutes, a random pet will refresh its cooldown. So this is actually not as crazy as I expected for the literal queen bee. It refreshes pet cooldowns every 20 minutes. Now that could be really helpful, especially if you have other bees out. That means every 20 minutes, you will get more pollinated fruits. So that's about everything I'm gonna show you that has been added into the game. But now I'm gonna give you some tips that'll help you out with this event. As you can see, a lot of this event is focused on getting honey points. You want to make sure you are around when the bee swarm event happens, but you also just want to maximize the ability to get pollinated fruits. With how similar this is to the Lunar Glow event, a lot of what worked for that event and getting more moonlit fruits is going to apply here for getting more pollinated fruits. My main focus is you need to get as many of the bee eggs as you can. Getting them sooner rather than later means you have a higher chance of getting bees out into your garden and getting them to pollinate more fruits for you. You want to have that currency available for all the different shop restocks. So here's my advice. Make sure if you can, show up for the first couple bee swarm events. Those again happen on the hour, every hour. I'm still not entirely sure what the criteria is for which pollinated fruits do better than others. I would still recommend getting rid of all of your more common plants and only having the rarer fruits out, in case that is part of the criteria. You want to be able to fill up that jar as quickly as you can because no matter what, you have to wait 10 minutes. So once you've participated in your first couple bee swarm events and maybe even gotten enough mutated fruits from the first one, you turn them in, you get your honey, and you wait for that egg to restock. Once you have your eggs down, get your blood kiwis out. Any kiwis are good, but blood kiwis are gonna be the best bet for you. You're gonna wanna have the bees out sooner rather than later so they can be mutating in the background for you. Here's my blood kiwi. As you can see, it has two different traits that really help out eggs. Number one, about every minute or so, it goes to the egg with the highest hatch time and reduces its hatch time by 45 seconds. That may not seem like a lot, especially for some of these that are multiple hours long, but it adds up, trust me, especially if you have multiple kiwis out. It also increases egg hatch speed by 20%, and I'm fairly positive this stacks. So if you have multiple blood kiwis out, you can reduce the hatch time 20, 40, 60, 80%. Okay, I had to load into my private server and not the testing server anymore because they were showing things I'm not allowed to show you yet. So make sure you've got the kiwis out, make sure you are buying those eggs up when you can, And definitely try and follow the Lunar Glow event rules. Try and pick your more common plants, but what might also help you in the beginning before you have gotten many of the eggs is having out ants. If I were to have a tier list, ants would be at the top of my list, I swear. Ants would definitely be S tier for me though. Let me show you what they do really quick. Okay, here's one of my giant ants.
Huh?
Why are you out here? All right, so here's my giant ant, and if you don't know, you can get this out of the bug egg. It is about third most common. It's not too hard to get. There's also the red giant ant, which you can get out of the new mythical egg, and that one is a little bit harder to get, but it still helps you out. So the giant ant has a 10% chance that harvested crops duplicate. Rarer crops have a lower chance to duplicate, and then it has a 6% extra chance for candy type crops to duplicate. So that last bit is not necessary. What you want to focus on is that about 10% chance that harvested crops duplicate. This does include the mutations. So at the beginning, when you're just trying to get more pollinated fruits, you're gonna want some ants out. This is the strategy I used when I was trying to get a bunch of moonlit stuff, and it helped me so much. Once you've gotten some eggs though, you're kind of just gonna have to find that balance between, do you want ants duplicating fruits for you? Or do you just want to be hatching more eggs so you can have a bee army? Those seem like they're going to be the best strategies as of right now, but if you think of anything else that has been helpful, please let me know in the comment section below. I am very curious. And I think that's all my advice for you. I definitely missed a couple of the new things that have been added in, and I'm sure there are even more tips that would be helpful for this event, but I hope that helped prepare you a little bit for what's coming up, and I hope you get tons and tons of honey. It definitely feels very free to play as well. It just might require a lot of AFK time. So I wish you luck, and again, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. There will definitely be more Girl Garden content coming up soon, and I'm gonna have some other fun content here coming up very, very soon. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye!